Da 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 da, it's the mother chuffing P-I-double-G. How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Boom Chanka, how are we all doing today? Shout out to all you legends for stopping by and getting in here. Let me give this a refresh and see who's in here. We've got Aaron Homeyard, Dan Johnson, Screenshot Mania, I Love Men, Brandon C. Everyone, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. So today's transfer news show, of course, it's 3 o'clock, it's that time of the day. We're going to be talking about all the latest transfer news to do with Manchester United. The biggest rumour that's doing the rounds around Twitter at the moment is Thiago Alcantara is nearing a move to Manchester United, apparently. This is what's going around Twitter. I haven't seen any of the mainstream proper sources actually talk about this yet. But that is what's going on. I mean, actually, if you go on Sky Bet and you look at the odds for Manchester United to sign Thiago have been absolutely slashed. They've been slashed from 4-1 to 11-8, lads and lasses, which is quite interesting, isn't it? Just in terms of the odds slash in there. So maybe there is a little bit of something there in terms of a basis for Thiago Alcantara. We know that we've been speaking to him previously. We know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has obviously spoken with him and desires a player like Thiago. He's a quality player. We know Liverpool after them. We know Liverpool have been in for him and been having negotiations. We also know Liverpool are bloody skint. They're skint scousers, these guys, at the moment. So there's a very good chance that they're probably not going to be able to stump up the money for him. We'll see. I mean, if Wijnaldum doesn't go to Barca, maybe they won't be getting Thiago. It really just depends on the situation at Liverpool right now. So, but in all fairness, Thiago's a brilliant player that United should be looking to get. Maybe we don't know something behind the scenes where Manchester United have tried to get Jadon Sancho and they've ended up having an absolute melt and have not prepared to spend the money. There are some reports as well that a Jadon Sancho offer has been rejected somewhere around 90 million. There's some reports to say this. I don't necessarily believe any of these are true, but I'm just saying, like, there's if it was true and United went in for another offer for Jadon Sancho and it was rejected and knocked back, then there's every possibility that that Thiago would become our next target, our next biggest target, because of his experience, because of his qualities, and what he can bring to the team. And the fact he's not actually that much money, like 30 million euros would get you Thiago because of his contract length that's left at Bayern Munich. And then, yeah, you're going to have to pay big wages to him, somewhere around £300,000 a week. But to get a world-class player, it's actually a pretty damn good deal for me right now for 30 million and 300k a week. If you could get somebody in who's just going to be, if you can replicate the sort of form and the quality that he's shown for Bayern Munich, for Manchester United, it's just like an absolute no-brainer, isn't it, lads and lasses? It's a no-brainer, this one. So look, there's not much basis for it at the moment in terms of legitimate movement, official bids, and all these sorts of things, anything being announced there. But there's various sources on Twitter, various sources around social media at the moment saying that the Thiago Alcantara deal is very nearly close to being done, which sounds pretty preposterous to me, bearing in mind we're supposed to be pursuing Jadon Sancho. So that would lead me to believe that the Jadon Sancho situation is completely melted by Manchester United. So there you go. I mean, what do you guys think about Thiago and the possibility of him coming to United? Do you think there's any basis for this? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that this is legit. Like I say, the odds of him joining have been slashed from 4-1 to 11-8. That's pretty interesting. I find that quite interesting. So maybe there's some stuff from behind the scenes that we just don't know about. I mean, a deal for Thiago Alcantara would be huge for United at this moment in time, getting a player of that quality. It's likely because of the Liverpool thing. If Liverpool don't sell Wijnaldum, they don't seem to be looking to invest or spend any money at all in this window, really. And it might leave the door open for United just to swoop in, which would be awesome. That would be a double bit of action there if we could just do over the Scousers at the same time. You know, never mind the fact that United would be getting a great player, but just taking a great player away from the Scousers. Stick with Jordan Henderson, you absolute melts. Anyway, guys, yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a great afternoon. Do us a favour if you're watching right now. Smash that like button, chuck a cheeky little thumbs up on it if you have not done so already, and get your thoughts and opinions in the comments section as we go along. But yeah, let's have a look there. Lynette Giggs, how you doing? She just says, it's just wait and see if it's true. Absolutely. I mean, look, it's one of those I've got on here to talk about it because it's all over, plastered all over social media, but the realistic probability of it is it still won't happen. And the only way I see Thiago happening and United actually investing that amount of money in this window is if Jadon Sancho does not come to United now. If that deal was broken down, if we cannot get that deal negotiated and done and dusted in this window, then I think we'll probably go for Thiago because we'll pay the money then. We got the money to pay. Of course, Alexis Sanchez has just gone. We might as well replace one big wage player with another big wage player in Thiago. At least this one looks quality. I mean, to be fair, just to go into Thiago Alcantara's stats a little bit here, he is more known as, he's a central midfielder, of course, but, I mean, he can play that defensive midfield role for us brilliantly, which is what we've been crying out for a little while. He's more of your pass master type as opposed to your destructive defensive midfielder, but even so, like, I mean, this is somebody who's played a whole bunch of times for Spain at 29 years of age. He's won absolutely everything there is to win, basically. He is 29 years of age, so in terms of experience, right at the peak years for when we want him, really, we got 2 or 3 seasons of absolute quality. He's played for us, obviously came through at the Barcelona setup, been at Bayern Munich for the last 7 years, won 7 Bundesliga titles, he's won the Champions League there. So look, he's obviously a heck of a player. We all know about Thiago Alcantara because he's been doing it in European football for a big number of years. But in terms of sort of assists and goals and things like that, which he can provide to the team, I mean, look, like I said, he's not your attacking midfield type. I mean, he does play there, but he's also more of your sort of deep line playmaker, I think. So he's played 150 times in the Bundesliga. He's got 17 goals and 21 assists. So 38 overall contribution in 150 games. But if you look at somebody like Paul Scholes was not that type of player that's getting loads of assists and goals, but he is running the show out there. He's absolutely running the show. And that's the sort of job that I think Thiago Alcantara could do for Manchester United. So I hope it's true. I absolutely hope it's true. That would be amazing to get him in this window. Somebody that we need. But I just don't think there's much basis for it, lads. Ryan Berberspin 9, thank you very much getting in here, buddy. Andreas Satoru, how are you, mate? He says, didn't Thiago choose PSG over us some years back? I'm not too sure about that one, actually, Andreas. Do you mean Bayern or... Oh, okay, right. Yeah, maybe a long time ago. I'm not too sure, actually, on that one, Andreas. I know that David Moyes turned him down. I think Alex Ferguson had lined up the transfer of Thiago Alcantara to come into the football club then, when Moisey came in, and then David Moyes didn't want to sign him because he hadn't seen enough of the player, and he wasn't convinced, basically, and he just didn't know enough about him. So, nice one for that, David Moyes, you absolute ginger goblin. AJM95, what's going on, bro? He comments and he says, Thiago is a top-class midfielder. He's dripping with class, but do we really need another midfielder? I'd rather get a centre-back and a right winger, as that's what we need. Good comment, AJM95, but the thing is, I think if we do get Thiago, it'll be down to the fact we haven't got Sancho, which will leave us opportunities and money to go and spend and get a couple of other players in this window in key areas. So I think, like I said yesterday, I think if we don't get Sancho, we'll get 3 other players. But paying 120 million euros for one player, and then also paying another 39 million for Donny van de Beek, that is a heck of a lot of investment in the window already there just in those 2 players. So I don't see too much in terms of chances of United going out there and spending big on a centre-back, or even necessarily getting that left-back in if we go and get Sancho. It all depends, really. I hope that we would, because that's what we need in this window, and anything less than that would be absolutely gash. But I just don't see us spending the money unless the Jadon Sancho deal falls down, in which case we probably will go get a centre-back, we probably will get that left-back, and we probably will get that right winger as well. Just a different right winger. It'll probably be, a much more budget right winger, another option, a short-term option. That's if Jadon Sancho is not a red come the end of the window. How you doing, Matt the Rushmeister? What an absolute legend. Dan Johnson, how you doing? He says, Villa are beating us. Oh, no, don't give me that, mate. Don't give me that. Samuel Ingram, he says, Flying Pig, Manchester should sign Benoit Badiashile, Thiago Alcantara and Wilfred Ndidi. Mate, we really would have a lot of midfielders there, wouldn't we? Just to answer the previous commenter's question, actually, about having too much in midfield. If we sign Thiago, yes, I guess we would, because we would have Pogba. Who else would we have? Matic, McTominay, Fred, and of course Donny van de Beek now. Now that's a lot of midfield players, but to be fair though, like you need a good strong midfielder with lots of depth there to challenge in all different competitions, but I think we probably would be one midfielder too many there. And if we were to sell a midfielder, I guess out of all of those midfielders, I personally think out of all of those midfielders, if you were getting Thiago in, I would say the one to move on would be Matic, because he's 32, even though he's had a really great end to the season, but he's just signed a new contract. He's not going anywhere, so he's going to be in and around. Plus, if he's happy playing that sort of more senior, experienced backup role and coming in when required, that might be absolutely true as well. Fred has been linked with a move away to teams like Galatasaray and places like this recently. You never know if Manchester United got a Thiago-type player in, whether that sort of transfer could be rekindled again, and maybe Galatasaray would be a destination for Fred. Even if it was a loan move, move or something like that, it could be possible for a season. I don't know. I don't want to see Fred go anywhere, personally. I rate him as a player. I think he's a good squad player. I just don't think he's the one that gets in there in that midfield as a starter when you look at all the competition that's around. And that's true now, let alone if Thiago came in. So Fred, I think, is a good squad player, but to me, he's never going to be an absolute world beater like some of the other talents that we may have in the side that can do it, like Pogba on his day, Donny van der Beek, and also Thiago if potentially he was to come in. So just have your say in the comment section. If you had to get an alternative to I don't know, actually, no, if you had to sell one of Manchester United's midfielders to make way for Thiago, who would it actually be? Just comment the name in the comment section. If it's McTominay, if it's Fred, if it's Matic, whatever. I mean, the ideal one would be Matic because he's older, even though he's been brilliant the last 6 months. He's older, but he's just signed a new contract until, like, is it 2 or 3 years' time? So I don't see that one happen. He's not going anywhere, is he? JP, what's going on, JP? Good to see you, mate. G Wolf United, hello to you too. Mr. K009 says Pereira can go. He absolutely can. I agree with that one. I mean, we're not even including Pereira. He's just a given that he should go. Lynette Giggs comments, McTominay. Yeah, well, okay, I see what you're saying there. I mean, I do like McTominay, and I do think he's a good player to have around the squad, but in terms of what he's actually done, he's done okay, but he's never really shone for me that much. Certainly this last season, he was one of the lesser impressive midfielders over the course of the year. He still had his moments, don't get me wrong. I mean, he scored that winner against City. But, yeah. Lucy comments Fred. Mark Diaz says Fred. Mr. K thinks McSauce stays. Yeah, Abbas Hassani says Pereira and Lingard. Well, Pereira and Lingard, I'm not even really including them in the conversation because I'm more thinking of midfielders that can play in that sort of central midfield role or even indeed the central defensive midfield role. We don't know what Solskjaer wants to play, whether it's a 4-2-3-1 system or anything like that. Do us a favour, lads and lasses, if you're tuning in right now, smash that thumbs up button. Give the video a cheeky little like, and it will definitely help this stream out, help this channel out, and have your say in the live chat as well. I want to hear from you throughout this video, so smash a thumbs up on it, lads and lasses. The normal one says, can't see it happening. United signed too many midfielders. I hear you. It's not an area of the team that we really need to focus on and worry about right now. But if the opportunity presents itself to really improve the starting 11, improve the midfield even further, where a quality player like Thiago Alcantara becomes available for 30 million euros, say, because of his short-term deal, then it becomes a real good prospect for United just to add that quality in there. Plus, we do have a young side. It would make sense to have a lot more experience in the squad. There's nothing wrong with experience, nothing wrong with depth either. Depth is good. Competition for places, okay, it gets to a bit of a point when there's players who are getting disheartened in the fact they're not getting game time, and they absolutely should be looking to move somebody on then, if that was to be the case. But if you can get somebody come and slot in and improve your team and improve one position on the pitch, you should take that opportunity no matter what position it is, in my opinion. Like, even if you've got like an absolutely fantastic player up top, if the opportunity came where Ronaldo was available for a couple of seasons, would you not rather see Ronaldo up top for Martial this year? No disrespect to Martial, I think he's a great player, and I would be saddened that the development of Martial was halted, but I'd still rather see CR7 up there in the number 9 role because he's just going to bang you 30 goals or something, you know. So you should always be looking to make strides and improvements in every single area of the pitch. This is no different to me. I just think that maybe somebody should be moved on if Thiago is not exactly if there's not enough space in the side for players, which it doesn't seem there would be. And certainly for the youth players like Garner and people like that, getting opportunities at United if Thiago came in would be very, very difficult indeed, my friends. Jay Walford says, loan Scotty out for a year. You see, there's another possibility. Loaning one of these players out, like Scott McTominay, would make an excellent bit of space in the side for somebody like Thiago. Thiago's not going to be here exactly that long, is he? I mean, he's 29. The maximum contract you would have for him at this moment in time is 4 years. So 33, McTominay's what, 25, 26, is he? I don't know. Fred's around about the same, 26. So these guys, they're still going to be in and around the team. But even potentially going forward, they've still got a future long-term at Manchester United. Hello, Victor Davies. How you doing there, buddy? Samuel Ingram, what's crack-a-lacking? He says, Flying Pig, Manchester United should sell Andreas Pereira to Valencia, Eric Bailly to Villarreal, Jesse Lingard to AC Milan, Marcus Rojo to Boca, and Phil Jones to Preston North End. And Sergio Romero to Everton. Hey, Samuel Ingram, nice comment there, mate. I would love it. I'd love to see all of those players you mentioned sold to all of those teams. Everton, yeah, I mean, they could do a lot worse than Sergio Romero, to be honest. He's a very good keeper. I'm not bothered about getting rid of Sergio Romero. I like him. Swish Dish, hello, Swish Dish. He comments, Matic is way too old. His movement is lethargic. His footballing IQ is so low. He lacks the speed of thought to pass the effing ball. He holds onto it for too long. You know what, Swish Dish? All of that was true about a year ago, mate. I agree with you, Swish Dish. But you know what? His movement is not lethargic anymore, though. I don't know if you know, did you watch United after the lockdown? He was all over the place. He was like a rat up a drain pipe. No joke. He might be 6'4" or whatever he is in a big unit, but he was throwing himself around that pitch. I looked at some of the stats for a lot of those games, and he was the player that had run and covered the most ground on the pitch in a couple of those games. And when you're a 6'4" behemoth like Nemanja Matic, I would say that's pretty damn good going. So I used to agree with you. He used to be completely static. He used to be very slow, very lethargic. I agree with you on that one. But I think that was Jose Mourinho in his system, to be perfectly fair. I don't necessarily think it was Matic. I think Matic has revitalised himself this last 6 months. When he came back post-lockdown, he just looked way more sharp. He looked like he was running his socks off and working his socks off. And in terms of intelligence, I have to totally disagree with that one as well, because I think he is actually really intelligent on the ball. He showed that at the end of the season. He was crap for Jose, I'll give you that. Jose was a stinker. He didn't use him right. But in terms of what Matic has done in his career overall, he's one of the best players we've got in terms of actual experience and qualities and what he's achieved. Matic is a brilliant player, experienced player. I'm not hearing it about Matic. Yes, a year ago, I'd have totally agreed with you. I used to call him Static Twatic Matic. That's his name. He was a Static Twatic. Or Frankenstein's monster, we used to call him, because he was so slow and just lethargic, like you say, in the centre of the park. But not anymore, honestly. I was very impressed with his energy. I was very impressed with the amount that he's covered the pitch and stuff like that in the last part of the season. So I actually disagree on that one. Nice one for your comment, though, matey. Jay Walford comments, needs to go to Inter Miami, I mean. Hey, it'd be interesting if Inter Miami do some bits, isn't it? David Beckham's team, obviously. He's probably still good enough to play for them. If I was Becks, I'd just register myself as a player and come on and take free kicks at the end of the game for a laugh. Probably score a few goals. Harris Khan, what's going on? He says, get a right wing and centre-back more important than the other places. Okay, let's get into this a little bit more then for everybody that's just joining us right now. Hit that thumbs up button, lads and lasses, if you're just getting in here. And I hope you're having a great day. I'm absolutely starving, by the way. I've just realised I'm absolutely starving. All I've eaten is a Cadbury snack bar today. So I definitely need to eat a bit more food, lads and lasses. But anyway, enough about my belly. Let's get into your comment section a little bit about Thiago. JP says Thiago is unwanted goods. This is the thing about Thiago, like, is it going to be another Alexis Sanchez situation? Is it another high-rated prima donna player, really highly rated, big marquee name coming in here for the wrong reasons? Is it going to be a player coming in for the money, for the cash grab, for an extra £100,000 a week or whatever he's getting, whether it's £350,000 a week or whatnot? Who knows? It's a lot of money, and I don't know if it's the right fit for Thiago at the moment and United, just simply because of those reasons. But actually, having watched him a lot, having seen him, I would think that he would be a good signing for United, and I think he'd still relish the chance and try his absolute hardest for us. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, but you never know. I would have said the same about Alexis Sanchez. I would have said Alexis Sanchez is going to be a match winner for United. Based on what he did at Arsenal, I'd have said he's got the right mentality. I mean, I was looking at him at Arsenal, and he was the one that was really leading and dragging that team forward. So I didn't really think of questioning his mentality or questioning his motivation as a professional. But when he came to United, it's like he just couldn't be asked. He's made his money now. He doesn't really want to be here. He said himself after leaving that after a week he wanted to go back to Arsenal. So that's the sort of attitude he's got. I don't think Thiago's got that same attitude, but you never know. Ian Greenall, thank you so much for the super chat there, Ian Greenall. He says, hello all you legends. Thiago to United. Look, I mean, the odds have been slashed on it. There's over 100 of you tuning in right now. Smash the thumbs up, lads and lasses, just to let you all know who's tuning in right now if you're only getting in here. The odds have been slashed significantly from 4-1 to 11-8 from Sky Bet, that is, for Thiago to join Manchester United. Now, there's also rumblings that the personal terms have been done and sorted out, and there's no issues there. And there's some reports coming out to say that Thiago is close to joining Manchester United. Now, I just want to say at the top of this video right now that I personally think it's a little bit too early to say anything like this right now. I mean, this is just hearsay at this moment in time because there's no mainstream outlets currently reporting on this, no necessary reputable outlets reporting on it. So we're just talking on it. We were on here talking about the prospect of it. because it's being reported all across social media that the deal is very, very close. We'll see if it is, lads and lasses, but like I was saying, the only way I think that can happen is if the Jadon Sancho deal has fallen through. Because there's no way that this Manchester United board, with that potato Eddie Woodward and the Glazers at the helm, would even consider spending money on Sancho, 120 million on Sancho, getting Donny van de Beek in, getting Thiago in. I don't see it, guys. I mean, that'd be amazing, but I just don't see it. So I think the only way we would actually be pursuing Thiago and getting that deal done and spending that 300 grand a week on somebody like Thiago is if the very fact is that Sancho deal was melted. Collins Achiri, he says Thiago to United is very close. Well, look, that's what's being reported, mate. I would love to see it. I mean, how good would that be if we just got him in? What a coup that would be to steal him out from under the bright white teeth of Jurgen Kloppy. Jurgen Kloppy, the floppy jalopy. He, of course, has been saying all the right things in terms of Thiago this window. He said that he thinks he's a great player and he's always rated him. And he's also said we cannot put an end to transfer speculations linking him to Liverpool. So they're obviously pursuing Thiago. For a long time, Liverpool were the favoured team to be supposed to be getting Thiago. So if that's changed, brilliant. If United have gone in there and swooped in and are prepared to pay a little bit more money to convince him to come to Manchester United, then I say fair play, go for it, because he is such a great experienced player. Even if we got a ton of midfielders in there. JP comments Sancho is overrated. Oh, I mean, is he really? 17 goals, 17 assists in the Bundesliga at 20? I don't know if that... I mean, fair enough, but those are some pretty impressive stats for somebody who's 20. Like, you'd have to rate them pretty highly for putting up those sort of figures. But I know what you're saying. Like, we've seen him for England. It's not like he's this Cristiano Ronaldo type behemoth. But you have to remember, neither was Ronaldo really until he got to be a little bit older as well. I mean, he was obviously this great marauding winger and he'd take people on and destroy people, but he wasn't the absolute out-and-out match winner that he was from, say, 20 on. So Jadon Sancho still got a lot of development to do. I don't think he's overrated. I just think he's overpriced. He's a shit ton of money. It's not worth paying anywhere near 120 million euros for Jadon Sancho or anyone right now. You're paying the premium because he's English. He's a 90 million pound player at most. He's a 90 million pound player at most. So the fact is, Man United probably don't want to pay any more than that for him. Why would we pay 120 million euros when we could strengthen 3 other areas of the team? I mean, you could get Upamecano, you could get Reguilon, you could get David Neres, you could get Thiago for that money. That's 4 players in the team. So all of a sudden, United have got a ridiculously strong squad. So I see what you're saying. There's not a lot of value in the deal, but I still think he's a great player. If he ends up somewhere else, or if he goes to, one of our rivals or a big club, I would be gutted that we didn't get Jadon Sancho, because I think he's going to go on and do some pretty special things. But at the same time, in the short term, maybe for United, in the short term, it would actually be better and make a little bit more sense to focus on some of the other positions in the team. There's reports coming out today that Manchester United are ready to offer 23 million euros for Badiashile. This is a report that I'm seeing. Take it with a pinch of salt. It's just online. I think it's the Express, so you know it's probably shite. But look, there's still centre-backs that are being linked with Manchester United. There's still centre-backs that are being talked about, because we should be getting a centre-back in. We don't have the quality in that area to deal with the proper charge for the title this season, if that's what you want to do. There's lots of fans out there criticising Ollie, saying we need to challenge for the title. United should be challenging for the title. We don't have the squad capable of doing it at this moment in time. It's a young squad. It's getting better. In 5 years' time, if you don't sign any players and you let Ollie have his time, they'll probably win the league, because they're so young and so good, and there's great talents in there. Mason, Rashid, they're all developing. But right now, if you want them to challenge, they need a little bit more help, and they need a lot more experience in the team. So somebody like Thiago, somebody like Upamecano, Reguilon, these sorts of things would be absolutely amazing. Be absolutely amazing. So I hear you. AGM comments, if Sancho comes in, we need to be patient with him, as he's only young and got such a high price tag on his head. Very true. He's going to feel the pressure like no other, really, because at 20 years of age, coming into a club like United, he's going to have a lot of pressure on him because of this, like you say, the price tag alone. You expect great things from somebody who's going for 120 million euros. You're expecting a world beat. You're expecting a match winner. You're expecting those sort of similar stats that he's been putting up over in the Bundesliga. Maybe not quite as good, because obviously the Premier League's a bit more competitive overall, I think. in my opinion, but I do think that Jadon Sancho does need a bit of time to bed in. He's probably not going to hit the ground running. The United's board and United's chief exec, Woodward, and these guys, they haven't made it easy for Sancho coming into this football club or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even if we do get him. Simply because there's not that much time to work with him and get him bed into the system and settled and have that affinity with his teammates to any sort of a degree. So he's going to come into this United side absolutely cold, like an ice cube, my friends. And really, I hope that he doesn't melt like an ice cube too, because he seems to be class, but we all know what can happen sometimes. We've signed a lot of big players over the years here at United, especially post-Fergie, and we've seen a lot of them fail, whether it's your Angel Di Marias or your Falcaos or your Schneiderlins or whoever it is. We've seen a lot of players come into this football club and just fail. Good players as well that have actually gone on to do good things before and after Manchester United. So I do think that there's just this extra added dimension of pressure that takes place at Manchester United, which you don't necessarily get elsewhere, to the same degree anyway, because there's just so much pressure at this football club. But if you cost 120 million, you bet your ass you better be performing out there week in, week out. And at 20, that is a lot to ask. So you're right, mate. He does need patience, but yeah, nice one. G Wolf says, apparently Dean Flynn, it's Villa are winning 1-0. So yeah, of course, the Aston Villa Man United game is on right now. I don't know the score or the results or anything. That's not being televised right now. So that is a little bit annoying that we don't exactly know what's going on. But from what we understand, United are down in this game. The highlights in the game are going to be on tonight, from what I understand. So we're probably going to do a cheeky little watch along on the channel tonight. It's on at 10 p.m. on MUTV. So come back and tune in for that later. Do us a favour, lads and lasses. There's over 150 of you tuning in right now. Smash that like button, everyone. Leave a cheeky little thumbs up. That'll help us out tremendously. My missus is over here, by the way, but she's just having a little nap. Hey, say hello, Nicola. She's actually asleep. How is she sleeping through me talking like this? But anyway, shout out everyone for stopping by in here and getting involved. Screenshot Mania, JP, Vusi Manakela, Jeanette Pugh, how you doing, Jeanette? Jamie Loki Jones, what's going on with you today, mate? How are you? Matty the Rushmeister, Ian Greenall, absolute legends among us. Thank you so much for everyone for getting in here. Ian Greenall says, LOL, another Dan James really, a bit better though. Oh no, you're talking about Jadon. You think Jadon Sancho's another Dan James? Mate, that is harsh, bro. That is pretty harsh. I think that's harsh. Anyway, so just to give everyone an update, the Thiago odds from Sky Bet here have gone from 4-1 to 11-8 to join Manchester United in the last hour. Lots of reports coming out on social media that the deal is close, but take it with a pinch of salt, lads and lasses. I'm not believing this one until he stood next to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with the shirt, because we all know that the Scousers are interested in him. We all know that maybe Barcelona are still interested in bringing him back to their club as well. And with a player like Thiago, when there's a lot of teams that are interested in him in this situation, they can have this effect where they're playing off these different teams and different agents and reps against each other, can't they? They're trying to squeeze a little bit more out of the football club that they actually want to go to. So there's all this talk and debate and discussion about maybe them joining Manchester United last minute and stuff like this, you know. They're just trying to put on a little bit of pressure, so they're just getting it out there into the media channels, this sort of information. So don't just count your chickens too yet in regards to Thiago. I still think that the most likely outcome is he doesn't come to United. But there are the odds. The odds on Sky Bet, 4-1. They've changed to 11-8. Pretty interesting. Right then, a little bit more news for you. Let's just have a vote, actually. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Thiago is going to come to United. Smash a 1 if you think Thiago's coming to United. Hey, Stipmeister. Hey, Geranta Bora. What's going on? That's great that Twanzebe's back fit. I hope to see him soon in the team. Living Rent Free in your head says, my guy, we meet again. How you doing there, Living Rent Free? Mr. K009. Bunch of legends, yeah. We've got a 2 in the chat from Jamie, 2 from KM, 1 from Nashim, 2 from Kyron Kennedy, 1 from Jazam, 1.5 from Paddy Zane. Look, there you go. I mean, there's not that, yeah. Twos, Alexander with the 1s. The thing is, this is quite mixed. I mean, I personally don't think it's going to happen either. I would have to put a 2 in there myself, personally, because I just think he's going to go to Barcelona or Liverpool ahead of Manchester United. And this is just one of those other situations where they're leveraging Man United's name. They're using Man United's name as leverage, basically, to try and get a deal done quickly or swiftly with a certain football club, possibly Liverpool, possibly Barca, for the right amount of money. That's what I feel the situation is, but I thought I wanted to get on here and talk to you because everybody's reported it on social media at the moment, and I don't think it's really that legit. So Solskjaer's been quoted as saying yesterday that he said, we're always looking to improve the squad. He said, scouting players, and if something fits, both the financial bit and the football bit, of course, we'll try to make some business happen. But we can't know how the markets are and how other clubs have been affected either. So that's the thing, they don't know what's going on in the window. A lot of football clubs are being pretty tight-chested with their money at the moment. The Scousers, they ain't selling they ain't buying anybody anyone, are they? I mean, they're skint as it is anyway. Well, no disrespect to any Scousers or whatnot, but they're all bloody skint anyway. So I don't know if they've been buying all that much merch and all that much stuff at the moment, especially with what's been going on. So I do think Liverpool probably taken a bit more of a hit than most football clubs, just based on the fact that they're in Liverpool. That's a little bit harsh, but you know what I mean. Liverpool, I think they're just a little bit more tight-fisted than all of the other football clubs right now at the top, all the other top ones anyway. You would think, being the Premier League champions, Liverpool would have the bottle and the cojones to do a bit more business in this window, but no, they're not. They're actually just sort of dilly-dallying around and fannying around, and Kloppy is probably a little bit frustrated. Thing is, though, Klopp knows he's got this ready-made team there that's just going to basically perform. They won't do what they did last season, but they'll still be up there tussling and fighting and challenging for the title, absolutely. The way that they play, the players that they've got. So if they'd probably rather just keep Wijnaldum than get Thiago anyway. If they lose Wijnaldum and get Thiago, yeah, that's great. They've got themselves a great player. They've lost a player, got a player. I don't think they'll be signing Thiago if they keep Wijnaldum. So a lot of it hinges on whether Wijnaldum's going to Barca or not. And a lot of it hinges on whether Thiago's going to Barca or not, or Man United, So we don't know. I would love it, though. I would love it if we swooped in there and stole Thiago out from under the Scousers' noses, my friend. Victor Davies says 1. Yannick Victorin says the Sun has reported the news of Thiago agreeing terms with Liverpool. Oh, okay then. See, that's the thing. I said no major publications as of yet. It's all going around social media, but no major publications as of yet have reported it. But you're telling me the Sun has? No, we all know the Sun's absolute toilet paper. To be fair, if it didn't have the ink on it, I probably would use it as toilet paper, my friends. But it is, it's a garbage paper. To be fair, you can't read a single thing that's written in that comic book. You might as well read the Beano, to be fair. Get the old Beano out or Viz out or something to read that, because that is the same legitimacy as the Sun. Ubsy says the bookies are no fools. This is the thing, Ubsy. This is what I was talking about at the start as my only real main source. I didn't mention any sources. All the sources on Twitter are bullshit, to be honest with you, but they're all saying it. But I wanted to talk about that source, which is Sky Bet. Now, if Sky Bet are reporting, like you say, if they've slashed their odds from 4-1 to 11-8, there must be something, some basis behind that. There must be some information that's come into them. So you never know. It could just be a coincidence. It just could be this media storm that's going on Twitter at the moment. But the fact is, the odds have been slashed significantly for Thiago Alcantara to join Manchester United. Quite interesting. Hopefully it happens. I'd love to see a player of his experience and his quality come into the side. We need a little bit of bottle in that midfield. I know we got Donny van der Beek, Pogba, McTominay, Matic, all these guys, but we could do with more. And I think shift somebody else on. I wouldn't be bothered seeing Fred go if Thiago came in. No disrespect to Fred. I like him. Fred's a red. I like him, but he's not that world-class talent like a Thiago. So if you can improve, if you can make the step up, wow, oh wow, what a midfield we would have though, lads and lasses. They should just get it done. Never mind this 120 million on Sancho, crikey. Let's get up a Upamecano, let's get Thiago, let's get Tellez or Reguilon, let's get Neres as the right winger then. Let's just do that. Let's overall strengthen the team. There's not value in the Sancho deal. As much as I want to see him come into the football club, there's not that much value in the deal. Whereas Thiago's a lot of value in the deal because he's a quality world-class talent. And just think about that midfield. You could have Thiago, you could have Pogba, you could have Bruno. You could have Thiago, you could have Van der Beek, you could have Bruno. You could have Thiago, you could have Van der Beek, you could have Pogba. You could have, there's so many great players in different combinations that you could put out there if Thiago came into the side. And none of these combinations that I've just mentioned feature Matic, McTominay or Fred. So that goes to show you everything. Yes, we do have some good players at the club, but actually in terms of quality and in terms of depth, yeah, we've got depth, but is it the most quality depth out there? Is it a Manchester City-style depth of the midfield? If we're being honest now, no, it's not, guys. So we could try and do something about that in this window and sign some players. G-Wolf, thank you for the update, matey. He says Villa 1, Man United 1. Get in there. So United have equalised. Do you know who scored? Because, of course, the Villa game's on right now, but it's not on TV or anything like that, so we're unable to watch it. Waveform Multimedia, thank you for your comment, says Thiago and a centre-back would be great. Yeah, mate, wait for multimedia. Thiago's the man, mate, to be fair. He's actually class. Like, that should have been our main target to begin with at the start of this window anyway. Proper experienced, ready-made playmaker extraordinaire. No disrespect to Sancho. I think he's a great talent. I'd love to get him in here. But there's not a lot of value in the deal. Like I said, having had this transfer window to think about it, and yes, I'd love to get Sancho, but only if they get a centre-back as well. If they got Sancho, a centre-back, and Donny, I would be very happy with this transfer window. But can I see them spending the extra money on a centre-back, like Upamecano or somebody of that standard, after they spent 120 million euros potentially on Sancho? I can't, guys. I can't see them doing that. Whereas if you took that same 120 million euros and you distribute it across 3 or 4 positions, you got Thiago in, and Upamecano or Badiashile, and, a left-back, Reguilon Teles, and then a right-winger option, you would actually have spent the same amount of money or less, and you'd have got 3 or 4 positions in the team sorted out. So what's your opinions on that one, lads and lasses? What would you do? Let's have a little vote. Put a 1 in the live chat for Sancho. Put a 2 in the live chat for strength for the rest of the team. If you would just buy Sancho in this window and Donny, that's your end of the window, put a 1. Or if you'd rather Sancho stayed there for the time being, not to say we won't get him later, but this window we strengthen and we get 3 other players in 3 positions. Let's say a CDM, a centre-back and a left-back. Let's say that. What would you rather do? The Alban S13 says 2. He'd rather the multiple players coming in this window strengthening us in key areas like a centre-back position. That would be key. Manic Flora comments, Sancho Manrick. Thank you, Manrick, for your comment there. Aaron Homeyard with the 1. He thinks Sancho is the man to get. Jazzman says 2. He thinks that we should distribute it amongst different players. Ryan with the 1. AGM with the 2. Scoojo with the 2. Look, guys, it's obvious that it's quite split again, but that goes to show you that not everyone is convinced about the Jadon Sancho deal. I'm certainly not for 120 million euros. Because, yeah, he's a brilliant talent, but this window calls for a little bit of strengthening, really. It almost calls for a bit of cavalry, And although Jadon's great, we need some strength within the team. We need some stability. We need some depth in other areas. We don't have that centre-back partnership. Unfortunately, we have Easter Island head Slabby having a bit of an average time alongside that IKEA Swedish furniture maker, Victor Lindelof, who's been doing absolutely bloody nothing, should probably go back to IKEA, actually, and get a job there, to be fair. He's all right, but he's not United standard. Let's just say it how he is. He's bang bloody average, man, and he always will be. Sorry, Victor, you're a nice bloke. Do one, as far as I'm concerned. What we really need is a proper centre-back in there. Proper class act centre-back, no messing around. World-class, bish, bash, bosh. Get that centre-back pairing sorted. Get Maguire a suitable partner to dance with, because you need a good dance partner, my friends. It doesn't matter if you're bloody Fred Astaire. If you're dancing around with bloody Mr. Blobby, you're going to have a tough time of it, You're probably going to get your feet stepped on. You're probably going to fall over. You're probably going to get somebody in your face going, Blobby, Blobby. It's not on. What you really need is somebody who's cool, calm, collected, like a Fred Astaire type with the hat and that's what you need. And unfortunately, Victor Lindelof is not that guy. Victor Lindelof is the Mr. Blobby guy. He's a joke, man. He's a joke character, unfortunately, at the back for me, because he makes too many errors. Sorry, Victor. Nice guy, like you, but you're a joke. And then in regards to the centre-back area, what I would love to see is a proper beastly centre-back coming in. Talking about Upamecano, man. 21. He's been doing the bits over in Germany there. He's obviously looked very good whenever we've seen him. The last few games that we might have watched because of lockdown or something, not a lot of football on, we watched a bunch of the games. So Upamecano's done really well. I think he's good. I've only seen him a couple of times, don't get me wrong. I've not watched him over the course of the season in the Bundesliga. But from a potential point of view, this guy can give us something that we don't have right now, yes. Get him in there. Get him done. Stop fanning around. Stop making this window pitiful for United and spread your bets. Get different positions strengthened. So, yeah, actually, I've gone back and forth over at this window. But Jadon Sancho's a great signing, but we would be better off spending 120 million euros on 3 or 4 different players. Facts. That's it. Okay, you've all had your vote there, I know. But I personally, that's how I feel. Pancash Palhawani, what's going on? I do remember you, Mai Lolan. How you doing, the panda man? What's going on there with your panda emoji? Yeah, of course I do, mate. Please do us a favour if you're tuning in. Smash that thumbs up button, lads and lasses. Leave a cheeky little like on the video. That would be awesome of you. And also give it a share on social media if you can. Shout out to Peter Balo Kamara, who's just subscribed to the channel as well. And yeah, hit that subscribe button, everyone. If you're new to this show, if you've never watched this channel, hit that subscribe button. No worries, Miley Lowland. Okay then. Kevin Bay, thank you very much, Kevin Bay, for getting your comment in here, buddy. He says, in my opinion, we don't need to purchase a centre-back in this market. We have Smalling coming back, Twanzebe coming back from injury, assuming that Leipzig won't sell up a Meccano. Kevin Bay, I hear you, man, but Smalling is really not that standard player either, I think. Otherwise, why would have Solskjaer let him go to Roma? If he was really part of his plans and didn't think he was surplus to requirements, he wouldn't have let him go to Roma. We could have probably done with him last season, though, to be honest, because there's not that much difference, I don't think, in terms of qualities between Smalling and Lindelof. But again, it's more about having that world-class talent for United, even if it's not a world-class talent right now, but they're a young player like a Deo Upamecano who does have the potential to be a world-class talent. Then I'd rather give the time and the game time and the experience to that player rather than fanning around with somebody like Lindelof or Smalling. No disrespect to Smalling, he's done some good stuff for United over the years and he's still a player in demand. Look at Roma, but actually it's very, very close to Roma signing Chris Smalling, so I don't think Chris Smalling is going to be even a factor in the team this year at all. I think very least he'll be going out somewhere on loan, but actually it's being reported anyway. We understand that next couple of days there'll be some information in regards to Chris Smalling's move to Roma being announced by the club. So we'll see about that. Of course, we don't know 100% yet. Never say never. There's still time for stuff to break down there, but we believe he's signed a 2-year deal and agreed personal terms with Roma. And it's just a case of the medical and paperwork now. The club are happy. We've received received the offer of the fee, believed to be about 13 or 14 million euros. So I do think Chris Smalling's on his way out. But anyway, Mr. K says, yeah, Uppy is damn savage. He's an absolute beast, to be fair. He's just absolutely physical and quick. And just like I said, I've only seen a couple of games of him, but one of them he was up against Diego Costa. And Diego Costa, we know he's a big, physical, nasty forward. And he just absolutely pocketed him the whole game. I was so impressed with it. And I just thought, you know what, fair play. He's obviously a really good player. And at 21, to be doing that, I have to say, I think he's going to be a great talent. So that's why I would take the risk on Upamecano. It's not much of a gamble because you are just basically saying that, yeah, you're spending this amount of money on this player, but he's probably more likely than not going to turn into a beast. Same goes for Jadon Sancho. Like, yeah, you are spending a lot of money on him, but at 20, to have the stats he's got in the Bundes, he's more than likely going to turn into an absolute beast. So yes, it's an educated gamble. You are, of course, risking that amount of money on a player at all times. It's an asset, and anything can go wrong. But you expect those guys to be really great players in the next 5 years, absolutely. Screenshot Mania says, I miss Mrs. P. She's asleep. Love, wake up. Wake up. Nicola, wake up. Say hello to the people on the live chat. Sorry, darling. Sorry, she just woke up. She's pissed off now. I just woke her up. Anyway, somebody just wanted to say hello to you. That's all. Sorry about that. You get back to sleep now. Okay, what's this? Matt Rush has just sent me something in regards to a Reguilon update. Let's have a look at this. Oh, nice one. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Rush. Yeah, so just a little while ago, this is posted 10 minutes ago, we have Sevilla are in advanced talks to sign Sporting left-back Marcos Acuna as a replacement for Sergio Reguilon, whom Manchester United are considering signing permanently from Real Madrid. Right then, folks, let's get on to the Reguilon news. Thank you very much for that update there as well, Matt Rush. So it's looking likely maybe that Manchester United we'll be looking to get Reguilon in soon. We know that we've agreed personal terms with the player. It's just about reaching that agreement with the football club with no buyback clause. We understand Real Madrid are interested in doing business that way if the price is right. And Sergio Reguilon at the moment is still considering United's offer and another loan offer from Sevilla, from what we understand. So, it really depends. I mean, Sevilla, they're also in advanced talk to sign somebody else in case they cannot get him. So that's what's being reported at the moment. So that does potentially leave the door open for United. But I think that's just a backup option for Sevilla. If it turns out Sergio Reguilon does go to United, then of course they'll get this Marcos Acuna guy. But if they do get Sergio Reguilon, then obviously they're not going to do that because they've had him last season. He was great for them. He helped them win the Europa League. And he did some bits for them last season, Sergio Reguilon. So they would definitely want him back. Real Madrid, we understand, want Sergio Reguilon back in the future. But he's not an absolute sort of like must stay. If the price is right, they will sell because they got depth in those areas anyway. So Zinedine Zidane apparently has given him his blessing and he's happy for him to go to Manchester United on a permanent move. That's what we understand. Whether or not that happens or not is a completely different question. But Sevilla in advanced talks to sign a different left back now. That's very good news, I think, Matt Rush. Thank you very much for keeping us up to date there, because it maybe does indicate that United is his preferred choice. And hopefully United can get the deal done there. But we'll see what happens, guys. I mean, look, are we going to get Sancho? Are we going to get Reguilon? Are we going to get Thiago? I very much doubt we're going to get all of them. Look, I will have a mangasm all over a picture of Edward Woodward if he brings in Sancho and Thiago and all of these different guys. And a mangasm's not an orgasm, by the way, just to let you know. For anybody who doesn't know that, I'm not sick in the head. I'm just saying I'll have a mangasm over a picture of Eddie if he does that, because that'll be some window. If he signs Reguilon, signs Thiago, signs Sanchez and Van der Beek, I'd say fair play to you, Eddie, you're not messing around. But at this moment in time, he is messing around still. At this moment in time, he has still done jack all. And it's very annoying. So we'll see what happens here. I think it's one of those, do we chuck all our eggs in one basket and get Sanch? Or do we spread our bets and get Reguilon, Upamecano, Thiago and spread our bets? So it's one of those, guys. We'll see what happens. I mean, let me know what you guys think, what we should do in the window, whether we think we should get Sancho or that. I'd love to keep hearing your opinions throughout. Jaga Naraka, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. I don't know about that. Ian Creenall says Mrs. P. Griselda says, Pals, Android's better anyway, mate. So thank you for the compliment. Android's definitely better than Apple. Griselda Pals says, what is the score of Man United versus Aston Villa? Apparently it's 1-1 at the moment. Thank you very much for G-Wolf for keeping us up to date. I mean, that's what we understand. Tuck says, just came in, Pig, what's the news on Thiago? Okay, mate, so just to give everyone an update who's getting in here, just quickly smash that like button and get your thoughts in as well. But let's have a little rundown. So Thiago news. The odds have been slashed by the bookies. Sky Bet, for instance, he was 4-1 earlier. Now he's 11-8 to join Manchester United. So, the bookies, they're quite clever. They do often know a lot of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes here, which in my opinion is the greatest source that we've got for this at the moment. There's other sources reporting it. We've seen some of the guff on Twitter and stuff like that, smashing it around there, that Thiago is very close to joining Manchester United, which I really hope that is true. But at the same time, take it with a pinch of salt, because, like I say, I can't see any legitimate publications at this moment in time saying that the Thiago deal's done. It doesn't mean that it's not. I think that there's a lot of different factors in this one. There's a lot of different teams who are interested in him. There's a lot of leverage being pulled in different areas from his agent, probably trying to get a move to a certain team. And whether or not that team can afford it, I'm talking about Liverpool here, that's another situation. If United can swoop in and steal him off them, absolutely brilliant. But to give you an update, it's being reported anyway across social media that Thiago is very close to joining Manchester United and being a United player. I mean, that would be amazing, guys. But look, let's just see what goes on over the coming days. I'm not holding my breath on it. I think if we sign Sancho, there's no way that we sign Thiago. Or a centre-back. If we sign Sancho, that'll be it. Maybe we'll get Sergio Reguilon as well, because he's cheap and available and young. And it's just a bargain price as well, when United like bargain players. But if we get Sancho, we're probably not signing anybody else, really. If we don't get Sancho, I'd expect United to put in a very tasty offer to Thiago to convince him to come instead of going to Liverpool. Because if you take a player like that off of Liverpool, it's going to kick them right in the gonads, and it gives us a boost in the gonads as well. Gives us a boost, gives us some cojones out there in the midfield. Really great signing, love him. I mean, our midfield's looking good anyway, but it wouldn't hurt to have a player of that standard in there who's literally been winning everything there is for the last 7 years at Bayern. Just won the Champions League, a very pivotal part of their team over the last 7 years as well. So if he could do that for us, he's 29. Next few seasons, we would be pretty set. If we got the same committed level player that he's been over at Bayern, but at United, we'd all snap their arm off for a 300k a week deal, wouldn't we, for Thiago? And £30 million. Nice one, guys. So yeah, thank you everyone who's watching. I'm going to just get through some of the other transfer news quickly, some of the little stuff then to do with players outs, players ins and stuff like that, a couple of new things that has popped up, and then we'll get back into the comment section and see what you guys think about everyone. But Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that the last details to be completed for the Arturo Vidal deal to join Inter as a free agent are almost done. So the agreement's going to be reached with Barcelona. Personal terms are okay until June 22. So I just wanted to talk to you about that, because Barca, of course, Arturo Vidal's leaving Barcelona to join Inter. He would have been a decent signing as well, but he is like 34. But there you go. He's gone to the glue factory that is Serie A to link up with the likes of Ashley Young and Lukaku and stuff like that. So here we go. Yeah, so in terms of the players going out at the moment, there's actually a lot more information in regards to Dalot. We understand Dalot's quite unhappy at Manchester United with the lack of opportunities he's had, and he wants to maybe move, not because he doesn't like United, not because he doesn't want to be a part of the team, but for his own personal development as a player. He wants to go elsewhere and get some game time. Fair enough to the lad. You can't really fault him for that. He's not been getting that at United. He probably never will do because he's probably not good enough standard. Now, in all honesty to him, though, he's a decent player. There will be a host of clubs interested in him. I think there is a bit of basis for that. We saw yesterday that Lille had a bid rejected, but United wanted 22 million. So if there can be a deal done there, you never know. Maybe Dalot will be going out, but there's some reports to say that more bids are coming in for Dalot at the moment, and he has informed Solskjaer that he's really not happy, and Solskjaer's basically told him that, your time's up at the club. So we'll see if that happens. Diogo Dalot heavily linked with the move away from the club. Reports here, Laurie Whitwell commenting, Diogo Dalot is not in Solskjaer's plans, and MUFC are open to offers. PSG and Everton have both shown interest. United are looking to recoup as much of the initial purchase price as possible. So that's how much we sort of paid for around about that money for Diogo Dalot anyway. I think it's not really a loss to me. I would be happy doing that, especially if we ended up getting Reguilon or someone like that, because then Brandon Williams could be shunted over to the right-hand side, and he can go ahead and be the deputy right-back for Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the season and going forward. So I think that's bloody awesome. I think that would be bloody awesome if Dalot was sold. No disrespect to Dalot, but if we raise a bit of money and sign another player instead like Reguilon, then it's tit for tat. I'm happy with the gamble because I just don't know if Dalot's ever going to be top class. But then again, he is only 20, so give him a bit of a chance because he's very, very young. Matt Rush with a super chat says, fab tweet, Reguilon update pig. Brilliant. We've got some more breaking news, have we? Oh, thank you so much for this, Matt Rush, keeping me up to date. So I can keep you guys up to date. Do us a favour, smash a like on the video for Matty the Rushmeister, the transfer guru, and give him a follow on Twitter as well at MattUnited20. Shout out Brandon C, JP, Hunar, FAC, Jonathan Gallagher, great to see you, mate. I'm good, mate. Yeah, do us a favour, hit that like button, and let's read on this Fabrizio Romano tweet out then. So, Fabrizio's just tweeted literally a few minutes ago, and he said, he's also backed up that fact. So he's also, just to give you a double source here, he said Sevilla are in advanced talks to sign Marcus Acuna from Sporting, as per Abo Lapapang, or whatever, whoever that was that I read it from earlier. Deal to be done soon. No more chances to come back for Sergio Reguilon. He'd love to join Manchester United this summer. MUFC considering him as an option, but won't pay 30 million euros. Oh my days! Hey, how's it going? Thank you for that, Matt Rush. Yeah, look, no more chances to bring back Sergio Reguilon for Sevilla. It seems like they're going in for Marcus Acuna. That's what Fabrizio Romano is reporting. I don't know if that's 100% true, because I just think that Sevilla, I mean, I do rate Fabrizio, but I just think that if Sevilla had that loan deal, it's still whether or not Man United want to pay the money to Real Madrid and can agree that future deal with no buyback clause in there, because that seems to be the major stumbling block. If they can do that, then yes, I agree that they'll sign Marcus Acuna, because they're obviously in need of a left back. But if not, then Reguilon might just end up going back to Sevilla. So it's not 100% done yet, but it does look really good, doesn't it, lads and lasses? Get in there. So new update, Sergio Reguilon may be looking slightly more likely to come to United simply for the fact that Sevilla, who were one of the other clubs that were really interested and keen on bringing him back there, have now turned their attentions to Marcos Acuna, and they're in advanced talks to sign him from Sporting. So that's brilliant.
Did you see Matt Rush's super chat?
Yes, I did see Matt Rush's super chat. I literally just read it out. Thank you so much, Matty the Rushmeister, for that. You're a top man. I think I did anyway, didn't I? That's how I knew about that. Maybe I didn't acknowledge it, but thank you, Matty the Rushmeister, you absolute legend, for the super chat. Top lad, appreciate that. Hunar, hello pig, just got here, not sure why I didn't get a notification. Can you do a recap? I will do very, very soon, mate. I'm just going to deal with the little bits that we've got to talk about right now. So Sergio Reguilon, look, that's looking good. We'll see if that happens, guys. Like I said, the Telles deal, I didn't feel right about the Telles deal. I know it was being talked about, but I think that was, again, more PR drip feed from Manchester United trying to get a little bit of pressure on Real Madrid to consider accepting a little bit more money for a permanent transfer. So no buyback clause. We'll give you a 5 million euros more. Let's have him. Otherwise, we're going to sign Alex Telles. That's the sort of vibe I was getting from it. Whether or not we end up getting Telles or Reguilon is another thing. We might not even get any of them at this stage. But We have agreed personal terms with Sergio Reguilon. From what we understand, he's desperate to play for United. All the other reasons we talked about, like in following certain United players on social media, all roads point to yes, that he will come to United. But it's whether or not a deal can be made between the two clubs still. And still, the situation, I believe, as we understand, is that Manchester United will not buy him unless there is no buyback clause, and Real Madrid want to sell him with a buyback clause. But they are open to selling him for a little bit more money with no buyback clause. Let's see if the deal can be met between the two football clubs there. Hopefully so. First Class Gamer, how you doing there, buddy? Good to see you, matey. Thanks for stopping in here. Shout out to all the moderators, by the way. Ellie, Aaron Homeyard, Matt Rush, First Class Gamer, G Wolf United, everyone for getting in here. Really appreciate you all stopping by. Ryan Berberspin9, do us a favour and smash a love heart emoji in the live chat for the mods for doing a great job, because they're a bunch of bloody legends. Legends, thank you guys. So yeah, nice one for that, Matt Rush. Really good update about Sergio Reguilon there, folks. Like, if anybody's just tuning in, like, that's actually pretty good. If Sevilla have turned their attentions to somebody else, it does increase the likelihood that United maybe is the destination that Sergio Reguilon will end up at. So that's boss. That's a great move for United to get a left back in there. Like I say as well, if Dallow's going out of the football club, which might be a possibility, we can shunt Brandon Williams over to right back to play instead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka sometimes. And then you've got Reguilon, you've got Luke Shaw at left back. It's instant depth. You've increased the quality and the depth in your side no end just by making that one signing. So I think that that's brilliant, and I think it makes a lot of sense, because I just don't think Dallow's all that good. I think Brando's got a much higher ceiling going forward in terms of his potential ability and what he can achieve in the game. I think Brandon Williams at 19 has showed a heck of a lot. He's 20 now, but he showed a heck of a lot of what he can do. Alec Williams, hey mate, great to see you. Thank you, Alex. He says, hope you are good today, Pig, with a super chat. I'm really good, thank you, Alec Williams. Well, I wouldn't say really good, but I'm okay. I'm tired. I'm melting today, mate. I'm a little bit tired, but I'll be all right. I'm looking forward to seeing United play later. Hopefully we can get the result in that one. Obviously, we know they're playing Villa right now, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and maybe it'll be finishing around about now, actually. But does anybody have a score update? Get it in the live chat if you know what the score is legitimately. Oh, here we go. G-Wolf, thank you. He says, right, update apparently. Apparently it was 1-1, but reports say United have won 2-1 at the end. Not sure, though. Okay, that's the thing. We don't know, because it was obviously behind closed doors. It's not televised at all. So realistically, we don't know what's gone on until tonight when we see the highlights, I guess. Well, no, it will be reported shortly, actually. What's up, darling? What's up, darling? Oh, I'm sorry, love. Sorry, my missus is all out of it. She's all over the place, discombobulated right now. Shout out Sahil Vat. Sorry I woke you up, love, but the people wanted to hear from you, you know? The people wanted to hear from you.
No, they didn't.
They really did. Everyone stick a love heart emoji, or no, actually put a cake emoji. Put a cake emoji in the live chat for Mrs. P, the cake bandit.
After my lovely intro and I got here, Mr. P, and then that, you naughty man.
Gwillem Garrigan says, what is the score of the game? Apparently 2-1, but don't hold your breath on that one. We don't know exactly 100%. Sombra said it's 4-1 to Villa. We don't know yet, guys. We don't know. So let's just have a little chill until we know exactly what's happened in the game today against Villa, the pre-season friendly, our only pre-season friendly. Look at all these cake emojis coming in the live chat for Mrs. P. Shout out to all you legends who have got in here and put the cakes in there. Look at all those cakes for you, Mrs. P. You'd eat them in an hour, wouldn't you?
I would do it in 10 minutes, probably.
Okay, so let's give you an update. Thank you, Hunar. Good to see you. Gaz Newton as well. What a legend. Ben Hodgson. Hello, Ben. Raymond Moore. Top lad. Sahil Vats. Mr. Darkside. Eddie A. Ms528. Thank you for the super chat as well there, buddy. Really appreciate that, mate. He says, hey, Pig, would you put Prime Rooney? What would Prime Rooney cost in today's market? Prime Rooney? I think Prime Rooney would cost 180 million. I think if you're getting a 25-year-old Rooney, 180 million. He's absolute boss. Absolute boss. Anyway, but anyway, to be fair though, thank you to Mr. Darkside, Christian, and everybody else who's just subscribed. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, everyone. Right then, just to give everyone an update and a recap, people asking for a recap here. I know some of you are just getting in here. So just to give you a recap, we'll go backwards. Sergio Reguilon has apparently it's looking closer to coming to Manchester United simply because Sevilla are now interested in signing Marcos Acuna from Sporting. Fabrizio Romano and a couple of other sources have just come out within the last hour. Bit of breaking news saying that Sevilla are in advanced talk to sign Marcos Acuna from Sporting, and that there's much more chance now that the Reguilon deal would happen. He also went on to say there's no more chances to come back for Sergio Reguilon at Sevilla now because they've turned their attention elsewhere. which is a great indicator that Reguilon's destination of choice was indeed Manchester United anyway. And of course, he goes on to say he'd love to join Manchester United this summer. So we all knew that. He's been following United players. He seems to want to come to Manchester United, so it's a no-brainer, really. MUFC are considering him as an option, but they won't pay 30 million. Tight-fisted bastards, our owners, aren't they? They won't pay 30 million euros for Reguilon on a permanent deal with no buyback clause, apparently. I find that a disgrace, but look, when you're being bent over the barrel by Dortmund for 120 million euros, it's hard to find the money in this modern post-pandemic climate, or current mid-pandemic climate, to spend hundreds of millions of euros in this window. Not everyone can be an oligarch like Roman Abramovich and just spend 2 windows worth of money in one transfer window. Not everybody can do that, you know. So there's a very good chance that United are probably going to have to scrimp and save a little bit in this window. Whether that means not paying the full amount of money that Dortmund wanted for Sancho in order to get a couple of other players as well, that remains to be seen. I don't think Dortmund will accept anything less than the 120 million euros they've said. But United would have to do that if they're going to have any joy, because we don't just need Jadon Sancho, we also need a centre-back and other positions in the team strengthened. I understand they wouldn't want to spend 30 million euros on Reguilon if they signed Sancho, because all their money's going to be gone. They'd have spent 39 on Donny and 120 million on Sancho, so all the money for this window realistically would be gone. We can't expect them to spend, more than 159 million pounds really, or euros. I think that's a fair amount to spend in a window. But they should also try and recoup a little bit of that by getting rid of a couple of players like Dallo, etc., just to give everyone more of an update here. So the Reguilon stuff, that's moving on a little bit. There's a bit more of an update there. Sevilla are out of the race, supposedly anyway, from what Fabrizio Romano is reporting here, and Reguilon would love to come to Manchester United. So there's a little update for you. In regards to Thiago, I think the odds have been slashed on Thiago joining Manchester United. That's the biggest headline for me. Never mind some of these rags or these sources reporting it. Just the fact that the bookmakers have shortened the odds so much to 11-8 for Thiago to join Manchester United from 4-1 earlier just goes to show you that maybe there is a little bit of movement behind the scenes there that somebody's heard about. So I'm thinking that would be fantastic if we got him in there. Hopefully we could steal him from Liverpool. That would be the best thing. But again, don't hold your breath on it, because nothing's guaranteed here. We don't know if Thiago is going to end up at Manchester United here, but it's being reported that it's close. Again, I would like to say, just to everybody joining us right now, Sancho is a lot of money. I don't think we'll be signing Thiago and these other players, Reguilon, these guys necessarily if we sign Sancho. But if we don't manage to get Sancho, if we do go in with a low ball offer, which doesn't surprise me that our board would do that, then I would imagine that we would probably go and get all these other players like Thiago and stuff like that, and Reguilon, and maybe a defender as well, Badia Shiel or whoever. I'd imagine we'll go and spend a bit this next week. So really, I think what the board and Solskjaer are trying to do is get a deal in place with Dortmund for Sancho. And if that's impossible, if they're just strict on the amount of money that they want to spend and we can't get the deal done, then at least we have this week. At least we have this week coming until Manchester United's game against Palace on the 19th to get all of our business done. I don't want to see it done on the 4th of October. I want to see all of our business done in this next week. And that's why the Sancho deal needs to be agreed in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, I say we move on to our next target, because we can't fannying around and waste all this time in the window when we could be out there spending and strengthening and giving Ollie some players to work with for the new season. Alec Williams, thank you for your super chat here, Alec. He comments, who do you prefer, Berbatov or Chicharito? I mean, that is a horrible question, Alec Williams, but thank you very much, because I love them both. But it's got to be Berba's, mate. Berba God. The guy was an absolute god on the ball, that man. Talk about an elegant, intelligent player. I love Berbatov. He's one of my unsung heroes at United. A lot of people don't give Berba's the credit. Berba's was the tits, man. I love him alone for that hat-trick that he scored against Liverpool, including that overhead kick. The guy's an absolute don. So to me, it's Berba, but Chicharito, heck of a talent. I love him as well. A nice guy and a great finisher for us. And he was basically, in my eyes, the second best sort of super sub that we ever had after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So nice one, Alec, there. Thank you very much, dude. Luca Hawkey says, Glory Hunter. Flyest Kyang says, Fukinel. How are you doing there, Flyest? Pankaj Pelwagi says, Piggy, to be fair to the club, apart from Chelsea, no one is spending that much. Yeah, that's true, but there are other clubs out there spending. I mean, even Newcastle has spent a bit of money and got some players in. Chelsea has spent an absolute ton. Fair play, they didn't have a transfer window proper last year, though, so they're making up for it in this season's transfer window. That's fair enough. They can do that, though, because they've got an oligarch owner. We can't do that. Most clubs can't do that. Look at Liverpool. You're right. Most clubs are not spending huge amounts of money on players right now simply because of the uncertainty of the world and what's been going on, the COVID pandemic. It's obviously affected the cash flow revenue of all these football clubs absolutely massively, whether it's match day revenue, every single aspect of the football club has been affected in terms of cash flow and revenue. So yeah, they're tightening the purse strings, they're not opening them. So the fact that United are maybe on the verge of signing £120 million Sancho, you would have to give them some credit for actually having the bottle to do it. It's a bit of a gamble, it's a bit of a risk, because if it doesn't work out, it's a lot of money to spend on a flop. And I'm not saying he's going to be a flop because I think he's going to be class. But when you could have spread those bets on 3 or 4 different players, if it doesn't work out, if he gets an injury, if he doesn't take to the Premier League at United like a duck to water like we hope he does, then United could be left with a bit of egg on our face there. So I just hope that it's whatever happens, I hope we get the players. I hope we sign Sancho and I hope we get Reguilon. If we finish the window with Sancho, Reguilon and Donny van der Beek, I'll take that, to be honest. I'll be really happy with that, actually. Getting a player like Sancho in is a match winner potentially for the next 10 years. Brilliant signing that. But equally, if they can't reach an agreement with Sancho in the next day or so, then we should turn our attentions elsewhere and try and sign Thiago. Try and sign Upamecano. Try and sign Reguilon. Try and sign a right-wing replacement, whether it's your, David Neres's or even your bloody Josh Kings of this world. Just another option. You know what I mean? Just an option. How's it going? Abel Tadisi, he comments, "Hey Pig, do you think if we sign Thiago, it's the end of Fred or McTominay?" Okay, Abel, so, by the way, is my voice sounding distorted, by the way, lads and stuff? I've had a few people say that my microphone sounds distorted as fook at the moment. But to answer your question, I think Fred and McTominay, they're both good players, but they're just not really at this moment in time, maybe in the future, but this moment in time, up to the standard of being a starter in the team. Now, you do need squad players, you do need backups, you do need rotationary players, so they've got their place in the team, absolutely. But if Thiago came, I think one of them probably would have to make way, because you just have too much quality, too much competition in those areas, challenging for those limited spaces. And really, Fred and McTominay, they're just not going to get in a midfield when they're competing for spots with Matic, Pogba, Donny van der Beek, and Thiago if he came in. So yeah, I just don't see Fred and McTominay really doing that much if Thiago was to come in. I would imagine that one of them would be loaned out, or maybe both of them. But certainly not both of them, but one of them would probably be loaned out or sold. There's been a bit of interest for Fred, so I'm a little concerned about that. I think Fred's a good squad player to have around. It depends on the individual, it depends on the cash flow situation, the wages at the club, who's interested, it all really depends. There could be a big offer from, Steven Gerrard, mate, for fucking Scott McTominay, mate. You never know. But yeah, let's just see what happens. Alec Williams, thank you very much for your super chat again, bud. He says, would you take Bale for a season? So I would take Gareth Bale for a season. He's one of the players that's being sort of linked to United just because he's a great player and there's not many clubs that could really accommodate Gareth Bale. United would be one of them. And he's obviously had a torrid time at Real Madrid. He just wants to leave that football club now. So it does make a lot of sense. But what doesn't make the sense is the fact he's on 400 grand a week. The fact that he has got a bit of a slapdash, lackluster attitude in my eyes over there. He could be a little bit more professional instead of just slagging off Real Madrid all the time and playing golf and putting Wales and golf before Madrid and all that sort of thing. Fair play to him. He hasn't been treated very well by them over there. But even so, there's a bit of professionalism that I think's lacking a little bit from Gary Bale there. Plus, he's an injury-prone little melter, lads and lasses. He's constantly in and out the physio room, isn't he? He's going to be a torrid nightmare to have at the football club because he's going to cost a lot of money. He's going to be in and out the side. He'd probably throw his toys out of the pram. No, I'm not feeling Gareth Bale, I'll be honest with you. In terms of quality, yes. In terms of every other aspect of the deal, it doesn't make sense. The only way it makes sense, and I would take him, is if Real Madrid let us have him with us only paying a certain percentage of the amount of wages that he's on. Because if he's on 400 grand a week, United are not going to go and pay that to risk a player that could be injured half the season. So I would say 60-70% of the transfer of his wages would be quite a good offer from Manchester United. If they wanted to send him to us on loan for the season, under that basis, I would take him absolutely. But any other way, Alec, I'm going to be honest, not for me. Legends, right then, guys. Yeah, get your comments and opinions in. I'm going to hopefully there might be a little bit something else breaking as we go along here. but maybe not. So we've given you some good breaking news, though, in regards to Reguilon there and Sevilla. Fabrizio Romano coming out and saying that Sevilla have pulled out of Reguilon, so now there's more likely to come to United. He's left the door open for Manchester United, basically. So that's what's being reported. Also, Thiago, very close to Manchester United. That's what's being reported. The odds have been slashed on that one. Quite interesting. Diogo Dalot is not in Solskjaer's plans, and Man United are open to offers. PSG and Everton have shown interest. This is what's being reported, and we're also looking to recoup as much money as possible at the moment with what's going on, to maybe go and strengthen and sign other players such as Sergio Reguilon as well. Also, in regards to Sancho, to give you an update on that, there's not too much more movement. It's all very hush-hush, very quiet, all behind closed doors. They're keeping it very under the radar, and we'll find out more information when we find out, or not. Maybe they won't sign him, and maybe that's why the Thiago deal has come to the fore, because now we've gone on to our next target. So we'll see what happens. Also, Timothy Fosu-Mensah could leave MUFC if an appropriate bid comes in. This is what's been reported earlier today as well from Laurie Whitwell, journalist for The Athletic. So this is interesting, isn't it? Timothy Fosu-Mensah, I think he's got a decent place in the squad, but at the same time, I think he's 23. He's never going to develop into a top world-class talent, so why waste around and waste his time at the club? He might as well go somewhere, get some first-team experience, develop as a player, be the very best he can be. But I actually don't think Timothy Fosu-Mensah really has much of a future at this football club, so it makes sense. I think somebody like Ethan Laird, you should give an opportunity to. Certainly Mengi coming through at centre-back. You know, we've got to make some youth developments this season, but I don't think Timothy Fosu-Mensah is one of those. Plus, he's not even really a youth player anymore. He's not exactly a whippersnapper teenager anymore. So, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, I think I left that out earlier, but there's a little bit of a story about Timothy. Solskjaer, keen to buy players. That's another little bit of a story that's coming out. He says, we're always looking to improve the squad, scouting players. If something fits, both the financial bit and the football bit, of course, we'll try and make some business. So, he's obviously desperate to get some players in this window. He's just waiting for the board to agree those financial bits with certain players that we are being heavily linked to. Let's just have a refresh of this and see if any news stories has come in recently. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. So it's interesting. Liverpool are still understood to be interested in them. Let's have a look. Thiago Alcantara has been linked with Liverpool and United. He's taken part in Bayern Munich's first full training session on Friday in preparation for the season. So he did train yesterday. He's got only a year left on his contract, 29. He stalled over the new contract extension with Bayern Munich, so whether or not Bayern would even put in another offer is another question, but it's looking likely that he wants to get a big money move away from the football club, which also does throw up a couple of question marks for me, because maybe he just wants a new challenge, but maybe he's just looking for a cash grab. But apparently it's down to him wanting a new challenge. He wants a fresh start. He wants a new challenge. He feels like he's stale at Bayern Munich and he's achieved everything there is to achieve there, which is fair enough, to be fair. It must get pretty boring playing for Bayern every single season and winning that Bundesliga at a canter, doing nothing, just at a walking pace, because they are just better than everybody else. He's been there 7 years. He's won it 7 times. I mean, maybe he would like to add a Premier League to that. So fair play to him. If that's the case, I would like to have him here. But if it's just down to the money and just down to the move and getting the signing on fees and the new boosted contract and all that kind of stuff that is associated with a big money move like this, then I don't want him. But I don't think it is that. I think he seems pretty committed. I think he's still young enough, that he's still hungry enough in this game to go on and achieve more things. And maybe he just wants to be part of something special at United, or in the Premier League even, because he is talking to Liverpool as well, and try and challenge and win that Premier League trophy as well. Sanket Vegancast says, meanwhile, we lost 1-0 to Aston Villa. Are you serious, dude? Oh my God. I mean, has anybody actually got the legitimate finished result of the game that happened today? I might believe you, but I just want to wait for confirmation as well from maybe one of the mods or something. Vatsal Jory says, Reguilon is coming to United, confirmation by Fabrizio Romano. Okay, that's not a confirmation, my friend. That's not a confirmation at all, but thank you for bringing it up. I mean, let's just go into that tweet, but it's not a confirmation. This is what it says. It's definitely not a confirmation. It just says Sevilla are in advanced talks to sign Marcos Acuna from Sporting. Deal to be done soon. No more chances to come back for Sergio Reguilon. So it just means Sevilla are out of the Reguilon deal. He'd love to join Manchester United this summer, and United are considering him as an option, but won't pay 30 million. So that's actually what Fabrizio Romano has said, which does leave the door open for United, and it seems like there's nobody else really who's got the same level of interest as United in Reguilon. So I'm feeling very good about it. I do think it will be done done, that one. Like I've been saying for weeks, I do think that one will be done. But it's not a guarantee yet. You can't guarantee that that's going to be done yet, folks. So let's not jump the gun on it. Right then, let's get into the comment section, everyone. Let's have a bit of a Q&A then. Shout out to you all for stopping by and getting in here. Please do us a favour if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button, lads and lasses. That will help this channel out tremendously to try and compete with some of the bigger channels, some of the corporations, the conglomerates around YouTube. You know the ones. This will help. So smash a thumbs up on it. Give it a share if you can. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you do hit that subscribe button as well, because we go over absolutely everything Manchester United on this channel, from match reports, match reactions, live watch-alongs to transfer news and everything in between. So get involved. If you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button and click the bell icon as well to be notified when we go live. During this transfer window, what we're trying to do is bring you 2 daily transfer update videos. So yesterday, we did, I think we're doing every single one at 9:30 actually going forward, but tonight may be a little bit different actually, simply because of that Manchester United game being on. But to be honest, if they lost 1-0, I'm not even sure if I think I'd be freaking asked to watch that, to be honest, but I feel like I should. JP comments, Zlatan movie out in 2021. Really, mate? I've got to watch that one. My name is Zlatan. I'm a lion. In Syria, I moved there. They say after 30 you cannot score goals. I call it Zlatan A, not Serie A. He just comes out with all such stuff, doesn't he? What did he say when he left the MLS? He said, that was it. He says, there you go, Americans. Go back to your American football now. Or something like that. The guy's an absolute don. But yeah.
I'm just heading off, but I just said to JP, I've got to eat that, JP. I've got to watch that, JP. The Zlatan film that I put.
Zlatan. My name is Zlatan. And I'm a lion. I would love Zlatan back at this football club, to be fair. He's just such a great player, even still. Thank you, Dede Fakalujo. He comments, just subscribe, mate. How do you feel about Raul Jimenez? I think he would be great. Nice one, Dede. Thank you for subscribing, pal. And to answer your question, I feel very good about him. I think he's a very good player. I think we could do a lot worse than Raul Jimenez. I'd be very interested in signing him anyway. Of course, Igalo's only here until January anyway, so we're going to need some more firepower up there. If we don't get Jadon Sancho, then I think go and get Jimenez. That makes a lot of sense, because if we don't get Sancho, then Greenwood's not really going to have that opportunity to be that number 9 backup for us, whereas if we do get him, then Greenwood can play anywhere across the front three, because we'll have Rashford, Sancho and Martial up there, and then Greenwood can obviously deputise for any of those positions, and I think his best position is number 9. So that's why I say that. But if we do get Sancho, then I'd say no, there's no realistic possibility that we're going to get Raul Jimenez. But if we don't get Sancho, he's a player that I'd be interested in, because I think he's a good player, good goal scorer, intelligent player, and of course he's quite proven in the Premier League as well. Most of Wolves' team are really good and would get into our team, actually, like we've talked about this previously. I think Cody's a good defender, actually. I think Adama Traore is a really good winger. I also think, Ruben Neves is I think we should just sign Ruben Neves anyway. I think he's great. Shout out Prithvi Singh Rathore for getting in here and subscribing as well. Thank you, guys. Shriyam Sanal comments, do you think we'd immediately need to go for a centre-back? Because most of the goals we conceded was goalkeeper mistakes or lack of concentration. And we will have Mengi and maybe Axel fit, and no window without Bale rumours. Nice one, Sri Ram. Yes, mate, I do think there's a lot of good points to what you're saying there. I think Mengi is a great young talent for now and the future. 18 years of age, though. Is he ready to come and dislodge Lindelof? I'd personally like to see it done, because I don't think Lindelof's ever going to be that world-class player for us, whereas Mengi could be. So give him experience, give him a baptism of fire, so to speak, chuck him in there, see how he does. What's the worst that can happen? He has a Lindelof performance? That's about the worst that can happen. So also Twanzebe, like you say, he's coming back fit. Solskjaer, we saw some information from him yesterday. He was absolutely glowing of Twanzebe, saying that, yeah, he's going to feature more this season. Now he's come back into training and back into the side, and he will get opportunities in the side. So that's good about Twanzebe, and I think he should be ahead of Victor Lindelof as well, because anytime I've seen Twanzebe play great, he's played great. So I'm thinking, yeah, he's probably a better option than Lindelof as well, because Twanzebe's only 22. He could still go on and do really great things in the game and turn into a really world-class centre-back. You never know. He's still young enough. defenders don't really get to their peak development until much later than certain other players. You think about forward players, their best years are often when they're younger, 20 to 28, something around there, 20 to 29, because they need to be quick. They need that pace a lot of the time. Not all players, but a lot of players. Whereas defenders, it's more about gaining that experience, gaining that intelligence. So 22, he's still got a lot of time to develop and turn into a top-class player. He's still young. I mean, we're on about signing Deo Upamecano for 50 million, but he's 21. Twanzebe, if Twanzebe was playing for Leipzig, he'd probably be shit hot as well, because it's just not quite to the standard overall as the league, as it is over here. So I say, I agree with you, mate. Get Twanzebe in the team, give him a chance, give Mengi an opportunity to have some games as well, absolutely, and just sack Lindelof off. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Screenshot Mania says, Pig, I have a question, Pig. If you were the manager for Man United, who would you sign and sell? Okay, so if in an ideal world, I'll just give you a quick rundown. Obviously, people ask me this a bunch, but I'll just give you a quick rundown. I would sell in this transfer window. I would sell Lingard. I'd sell Pereira. I'd sell Phil Jones, Smalling, and Rojo. Those are and Andreas Pereira. I'd sell all of those players. Everyone else I'd keep. And then I would buy Upamecano. I would buy Reguilon, I'd buy Ndidi, and I would buy Sancho. That is probably all I would really do, I think, and Cristiano Ronaldo. if we're playing that game, I'd have Cristiano too. Iden Norway, I think the game's finished now, mate, the Villa v United game. We're just awaiting official confirmation. Eddie A says, we lost 1-0 to Villa. Check your sources. Nice one, mate. Let me have a look at check my sources here see if I can find any info on it. So yes, it looks like we have indeed lost 1-0 to Villa in a warm-up game. The squad was, what was it? De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Shaw, Williams, McTominay, Fred, Pereira, Mata, Lingard and Garlo. Before the game, Ollie said it's for some players to get game time. So, okay then. That's absolutely gashed, isn't it? That's absolutely gashed if we lost to Aston Villa in a pre-season friendly. You what, mate? Oh my God, that's absolutely gash-tastic, mate. We lost, you telling me Aston Villa beat Manchester United in a pre-season friendly? That's fucking crazy, mate. Oh, I don't know what accent that is, actually. That's the worst Brummie accent I've ever done. Then why is that so bad? I'm usually better than that, guys. Nice, mate. I come from Birmingham and, it's Boston, yeah. We just beat United, in a pre-season friendly, That's better. But that is shit, isn't it? That's absolutely shit if we lost to Villa, man. Oh my God! Don't tell me Jack Grealish bagged in the goal as well. Don't tell me Grealish scored the goal. That'd be a right kick in the bollocks, wouldn't it? Anyway, Mr. K says B team. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, the team is a B team out there. It's not the best result though. Mohammed Abdelaziz, thank you for your comment, Mohammed. He says, bro, your thoughts about Dean Henderson, and will he share the first choice goalkeeper with De Gea? I would love to see him getting more chances against big teams. Yes, Mohammed, mate, I agree. I think he's going to get a lot of chances this year. I don't think Romero's really going to play many games, if he's even still here after a few days' time. I do think Henderson's going to be our deputy goalkeeper this year. I think he'll be played in some of the lesser Champions League ties. I think he'll be played in the League Cup, in the FA Cup, and things like that. And he'll get good experience. And more importantly, he'll actually challenge David De Gea for that number one spot. And if De Gea does consistently make errors, then Dean Henderson's ready to step in and fight for his place as Manchester United's permanent number one. That's the situation. I like what Solskjaer's done there, bringing Dean Henderson back in here, not sending him out on loan as of yet. It gives the competition to De Gea that is needed. He needs to kick up the arse, that bloke, man. He's too much of an absolute fanny for United last season, making stupid little fanny errors that are just schoolboy stuff. Schoolboy errors, man. You can't do them. He's a fanny. But he's got to sort himself out. I love De Gea. He's actually a legend of the club, to be fair. Like, he's won the Premier League. He's won the he's won the Premier League. He won it in 2013, didn't he? He was at the club. Yeah, that's right. He was at the club when we won the Premier League in 2013. He's won the Europa League with us. He's won the FA Cup with us. He's won a bunch of stuff with us, this man. So you have to give credit where credit's due. It may not be the most successful period, but he's been there and he's done it for the whole period of time. And I think he's a good player and deserves a chance. Donny comments, we need a replacement for De Gea. Well, we've already got Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson's the man, isn't he? He's on 120k a week. He's already at the club. He had a great season last season for Sheffield United. Dean Henderson, my friend. Mr. K009 says, is Romero moving on? I don't know about that, A week ago, it was reported Aston Villa were in negotiations with Manchester United for the signing of Sergio Romero. Only issue is it fell down, believed to be because of the wage demands of Sergio Romero, just simply because he's on a lot of money at Man United, and there's not many teams that are going to pay that much for a backup goalkeeper, unless they're a real top 4 side or something like that, like a United. Christian Salcido says, what would you be your lineup with Van der Beek? Or you think, okay, well, I'm guessing it would be the same lineup that we had last season, but instead of Matic, it would be Van der Beek. I'm thinking that's what he's going to be used for. Not a destructive defensive midfielder, but a different type of midfielder there. So you've got more... you've got Pogba and Donny van der Beek doing the same sort of a role there, and then Bruno in front. I'd imagine that's what it will be. But look, I'm not really 100%. I still think the best option we've got is Matic, Pogba and Bruno. So, but look, Van der Beek could come in and be brilliant. I hope that he's going to just absolutely take to the Premier League and be fantastic for us. BG Krishnan says, why are we not selling anyone? Well, there's links with Diogo Dalot now. There's a few clubs that are interested in putting a bid in for Diogo Dalot and already have done, in fact. Lille rejected, but there's a few other ones that are interested. Everton are sniffing around him, apparently. So, you know, we might do a deal there. Also, Chris Smalling is more or less going to be joining Roma. That's a given. He's not part of Solskjaer's plans. They had him last season. They want him back. We're just expecting that he will sign soon, pending a medical and paperwork being completed. So we do think that's going to happen. But in regards to anybody else, don't hold your breath on players going out. Because Phil Jones, Lingard, these guys, they're on huge money. Nobody wants to touch them because they're on so much money. So they're staying. And what about Pereira? I mean, I don't know if anybody could even want Pereira, who's above League One standard, to be fair, because he's gash. So I think he's probably going to be staying. Who else? You know, who else is there? Rojo. I mean, there's a bit of debate talking about Estudiantes have offered Manchester United another loan deal for the season. So we could see him going back out on loan, which is no big deal. Or maybe potentially a permanent deal as well with Estudiantes would be possible. We'll see. I mean, I'm not too bothered about Rojo, but all the other ones, I certainly think that we should be looking to move on. But the problem is they're just on huge money for the type of quality players that they are, and no bastard wants them. Thank you, G Wolf United. He says, smash the like button, lads and lasses. Please do smash a thumbs up on the video if you have not done so already, by the way. Also, what do you guys think of the new thumbnails? What do you think of the new thumbnails? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you like the new thumbnails. What do you reckon of the new type of thumbnails that we got on this channel? Do you like them? I'd love to get some of your feedback on them and see what you guys think. Get in there, my son. What was that? Have we got a super chat? Did I miss a super chat? Sorry, guys. I think I might have missed a super chat somewhere along the line. Let me get this up. I hate missing super chats, especially, you know, if you've taken the time to send one in and I've pied you off. So I definitely didn't do that intentionally. Let me have a look and see if I can find it. Yeah, so there's 200 of you legends tuning in. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. That would be awesome of you. Thank you, Ryan. He says, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Flying Pig HD. There's my Twitter account. What a top lad, Ryan. Cheers for that, dude. Yeah, you can follow me there. He's put a link in the description. Also, check out the website, which is flyingpigunited.com. But yeah, let me just have a look at this quickly and see what I have missed. But yeah, shout out to every single one of you bacon brigadiers that are in here today. I hope you're having a great Saturday. Oh no, I didn't miss one actually. It was just Alec Williams must have been a delayed get in there, my son, or something. Hey, shout out. So yeah, nice one. Let's see your feedback on the thumbnails then. JP says tickle Phil's bell. Don't tickle Phil's bell. Tickle my bell. Tickle the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. That way you'll be notified when we post live and go live. Click the bell, set it to all, and finish yourself off. Trevor Cross says United lost to Villa for Fuchs' sake. Nightmare, Trevor. What a calamity that is. Mark Pentive says, Pig, big news. Ollie left team and stadium at half time to go sort some business. Is that legit, Mark Pentive? Are you just winding me up? Are you twisting my titties there, Mark? I feel like you're twisting my titties there, Mark. Yeah, Lucy says BS, Mark. And I mean, that's titty twisted, isn't it? Don't twist my titties like that, Mark. Jonathan Gallagher, nice one. Alex Enrico says, is Thiago, is he really coming? We'll be absolutely stacked at midfield. Yeah, if he is really coming. I mean, the odds have been slashed. We'll see. I personally still think that there's time for this to all go wrong. In fact, none of the major publications are reporting it at this moment in time, but there's some good basis for it, like I said. So we'll see what happens. It's definitely a player that United should sign. I just didn't see it happening unless we don't get Sancho. So maybe that's an indicator. If we do get Thiago, maybe we're not getting Sancho. Because look, there's some reports saying that there's been another bid rejected by Manchester United. We were doing it all very hush-hush. We don't even actually know if Manchester United have even had another bid or negotiation for Sancho. They could just be keeping their cards close to their chest and have made the decision to go and look for other targets now. We don't actually know, guys. We're not in Woodward's head, thankfully. Aaron Homeyard, he says, easy on the website links. Absolutely, yeah, just to post them occasionally, mods. But thank you very much for all your help and all your promotion in the live chat there. Check out the website, you know. David Spray, what's going on? He says, brilliant show. Hey, thank you, David Spray. Appreciate it, dude. Love the name as well. Mark Pentive says, reported on Football Terrace. Well, in that case, it's not true. Fair play to you, Mark Pentive, but that's like saying it's reported in the Sun, to be perfectly honest with you. No, or the Daily Mail or something. No disrespect, you know, he's a nice guy, but that is, you know, they're selling you wolf tickets over there, peeps. Geostars, did we lose to Aston Villa? Apparently we did. JP, maybe on my OnlyFans, mate, I told you. Maybe on my OnlyFans. Priyandas says, Thiago in, Fred out. Thank you, BG Krishnan. He says, love you, pig. Stay humble. Your channel will grow. Thank you, mate. That's it. I'm trying to do it no BS, you know. Like you can see this thumbnail, it says Thiago transfer, question mark. Yeah, you know, it's bright, it's attractive. We're talking about Thiago's possible transfer, so that's legit. But it doesn't say done deal, finished, done, finished, signed, Man United player. Does it? No. You know why? Because he's not. Because that's bullshit, lads and lasses. Because that's clickbait garbage. That's what you're not going to get on this channel, lads and lasses. So I'm always going to keep it legit and real. I might be pumping out the transfer stuff. It's because you guys want to see it. You keep watching. You keep telling me to do more transfer videos. What am I supposed to do? But I'm not going to talk about bullshit. I'm going to talk about the speculation, the news. Everyone wants to know the latest ongoings and incomings and outgoings and all the latest happenings of Manchester United's transfer window. But they don't want to be misled. And I don't want to mislead anybody in this fan base. I want to be completely open, honest, upfront, tell you that these deals are, you know, may or may not happen. The fact is with Thiago, yes, there's a little bit of basis there, but it's still likely to me that he would join a different football club. Probably Liverpool. It depends if they're not going to pay the money and United can swoop in. But I bet you that if we do get Thiago, it's because we haven't got Sancho. I very much doubt we'll be getting Sancho and Thiago in the same window. Thank you, Ayash Bahara. He says, great show, mate. I love it. Thank you for that, Ayush. You're a top lad. Alex Enrico says, great show, bro. Anyway, why haven't we sold anyone? It's just simply because we are paying them so much money. No, unless we were prepared to pay somebody else's contract a percentage remainder like we have had to with Alexis Sanchez at Inter, then who's going to pay Phil Jones 130 grand a week? You might pay Jesse the money just because he does have like a big profile and stuff like that, and he's got a big fan base and he's a bit of a cult hero, but I don't know if you'd pay anybody else that sort of money of the United's players that we're looking to get rid of. JP says Pig has an 8-pack. I've got a 1-pack, mate. I've literally just got a 1-pack, unfortunately. I'd love to have an 8-pack, but I've just got a 1-pack, bro. Don Pignioni says, Pig, I have an idea for a website. Would you like to hear it? Yeah, I mean, you can inbox me, bro, or you can put it down in here if you want to make it public, or you can inbox me on Twitter. Ayush Bahara says, Solskjaer reportedly didn't come out for the second half and left Mike Phelan in charge. Some business going on. Well, look, we heard that report earlier as well. It sounds like BS to me. But if that is legit, then it's possible, isn't it? I mean, this isn't a major game. This isn't a serious game here. It's just a pre-season friendly playing our B team against Ashton Villa. So it's not exactly vital that he's there. So you never know. I mean, if that's true, that'd be pretty awesome. Let me just check my source and see if there's anything that's come out. I can't see anything about that. I can neither confirm nor deny that at this moment in time, so I'm not going to pretend like that is definitely the case. Aaron Homeround says, Pig, are you gaming later or another stream? Well, I was going to watch the game because, of course, Man United are playing Villa. Well, they just played them, and it's going to be shown on MUTV. But you know what? If they played their B team and then lost 1-0, I don't think I'm going to watch it, guys. Or I'll just watch the highlights or something later because, because I'm not feeling that. I think maybe playing FIFA or something like that would be better. Nice one, Berber. Nice one, Matty the Rushmeister. Sedem Sano as well. Thank you, mate. He says, having two goalkeepers may prove costly for us. We can't rotate goalkeepers like we rotate strikers. It may cause confidence problems. We have to wait and see who gets to start more games. True, but I think it is good to have contention for all places. I mean, look at Tottenham. They just got in Joe Hart, for a little bit more depth, a little more competition there. It keeps everyone honest. And if you can have 3 good goalkeepers, you should. But at the same time, you only really need 2. I agree with that. And I think Romero's probably going to fall by the wayside this window. He may or may not end up going elsewhere. If I was him, I'd be looking to go get first-team football somewhere. But Dean Henderson's got a great future ahead of him. He's still only young as well, 24. 6 or 7 years younger than David De Gea. So I'm expecting big things from Dean Hendo, Big things. Scujo One comments, Pig, are you going to bother with a watch-along later? I don't know, actually, Scujo. I don't know. I'm never say never. I'm not going to say no. But I just really don't think that's really that good of an idea. I think it's going to be depressing as anything. The United Way, what's going on? He says, afternoon, people. Sorry I'm late. Just come back from my 86-year-old foster dad's. Hope the pig pen is great. Hey, the United Way. Thank you so much for getting in here, bro. I hope your foster dad's all good, mate. And really appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. It's top lad. Appreciate you getting in here regularly as well. Scujo One, probably not. Becky Hope. Hey, Becky. She says, hey Pig, sorry I'm late, was with my dad on his John Deere tractor mowing grass. That sounds like heaven actually, Becky Hope. What country are you in? Are you in America, Becky? Because when I went to America, every single person had... No, you're not though, are you? No, sorry, I just remembered, yeah. You're not. But who... Do they have John Deeres in England then? You know what I mean? I thought that was an American thing. I didn't think we had John Deeres over here, but that sounds awesome. He's got a John Deere mower. That's awesome. Everyone's got John Deere everything over in America. Over here, it's more like Flymo. Flymo is the one, isn't it? Everyone's got a Flymo. Black & Decker, these type of brands. But over there, maybe John Deere is becoming more prominent over in this country then. Fair play. Aaron Homeyard, yeah, he says, do some GTA perhaps, you never know. JP, Liverpool fans think they're getting Mbappe and Haaland. Deluded, my friend. Alex Enrico says, I can't watch the game versus Villa, it will be on at 4am. You're not missing anything anyway, Alex Enrico. Apparently they lost 1-0. Collins Achiri says, you are superb, Piggy, nice show. Enjoying every single minute of it. Thank you, Collins. You're a top lad. Appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Cindy Collector, you're a legend too. He says, good show once again. Thank you for the information, Pig. No worries. I'm just trying to give you all the information as it comes out. I'm not telling you it's done, it's done, it's this, it's that. I'm just giving you all the information, and that's yours to do with as you wish. So that's how we're playing it on this channel. We're not saying Thiago's done. We're just saying that the odds have been slashed, and there's some basis to it, but there's still other teams that could come in and get the deal done before us, as far as I'm concerned. And it all depends on that Sancho deal and what happens with that, whether or not we need to pull out of that one and spend money elsewhere if we can't get the deal made up with Dortmund. Nicholas Vincent says, it doesn't seem like United can get Thiago, Sancho and Reguilon before the Palace game. Which of the 3 players do you think United will actually sign? Good shout, Nicholas. I think it's one or the other, really. I don't think you get Sancho and Thiago. I think you either get Sancho or Reguilon in this window. You get Sancho and Reguilon plus Donny van der Beek. That takes your total spend to 200 million, which would be an insane amount, in all honesty. But if you don't get Sancho, if you can't get that negotiation done, then you're better off spending that money on Thiago, on Upamecano, on Reguilon, and then on a right winger as well to take Sancho's place, such as, I don't know, David Neres at Ajax. Just that's an example. That is probably what is the best case. Yes, that's right, Becky. I remember. She says she's from UK, Hereford. I'm a country lass. No, not a mower. The tractor is John Deere. Oh, sorry. Yeah, tractor. Oh, awesome. You're a proper farm girl then. Ooh, I love it. That's brilliant, Becky. Nice one. That sounds like bliss, actually. I'd love to just be on a tractor in a field ploughing. You know what I mean? I'd absolutely love that. Thank you so much. Ayush Bahora says, better channel with good contents, mate. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Nice one. Marion Donovan as well. I'm not sure what that said. Christian Salcido says, we'll beat Burnley next Saturday for sure. We've got Crystal Palace coming up. Hopefully we batter them. Agrippa Chinhara says, hi, Pig. I'm watching from South Africa and I love your show. Sancho's coming soon. Good man. I hope you have a good day, mate. Thank you for watching from South Africa, my friend. The United Way says, yeah, Pig, new to your channel in the last month, but top bloke and top channel, top mods and chat, can't complain. Top man, United Way. That's the way. That's the United Way, mate. JP, Ormesha's cousin in here today. Steve Buckley, Lingard and Pereira going yet. Hope so. Good show, Pig. Thank you, Steve Buckley. I hope they're going soon. I really, really do. Shout out to you, Moses the Leopard, as well. He says we need to find Patson Daka. Sorry, need to sign Patson Daka. He is fast. Yeah, he looks a good player, actually. We've been linked with him. That's another one. If we don't get Sancho, maybe Daka. Nova Fire, Nova 5. Nova 5. I love it. That's the name of the spacecraft that Crichton was rescued from. Is that where you've named your... Is that a Red Dwarf reference, or is that just random? If it is, you're a legend. No, I don't have bunions, mate. That's a strange question, bro. Marek Stachowski, what's going on? How are you doing, Marek? You're a legend. G-Wolf, absolute legend. Shrarim Senal, you're a legend. Alex Enrico, legend. That's right, we've read that one out, Alex Enrico, on the show, actually, in regards to Reguilon. Looks like he will be coming to United, potentially because Sevilla have pulled out. They're after Marcos Acuna now, and it's understood he's definitely keen on going to United. Nice one, Zokanama Zote as well, you legend. Great to see you. Thank you, sir. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Zokwanama Zote, legend. Rex the Boss Gaming, everything's good, mate. Thank you for your little summary there. It sounds interesting. He says Shaw and Lindelof played at centre back together, by the way. Oh, interesting. Well, that's probably why we did Gash. Marek Stachowski says, what time is the friendly today, lads? It's already been on at 2 p.m. and now it's on at 10 p.m, the highlights on MUTV, but I don't know if we're going to watch it now. Agrippa says midfield 3 with Thiago, Pogba and Bruno, 90 points is possible. That would be amazing. That does sound really good. Don Piglioni, thank you, matey. I'll have a look at that. The United Way says this channel is a top shagger event. Sponsored by Mason Greenwood. Ayush Bahara, thank you. He says, subscribe to the channel, everyone. That's it now, guys. I'm going to wrap this video up. I've been rambling too long. But Mr. K009, Marek Stachowski, Mark Pentif, JP, David Bratton as well, Nick M, Steve Buckley, Gilmore 4, Foix, Matt Rush, everybody else, thank you so much for getting in here today with your thoughts and opinions and watching this show. Do us a favour, smash that like button, lads and lasses. If you haven't hit the like already, what have you even done? Smash the like button and give it a share if you can, and come back once this video is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we've discussed, Thiago, Reguilon, whatever. We do these daily updates every single day, so I'll keep you up to date with what's going on with United's transfer window. That's going to be it from me. K-Am, you're a legend. Jonathan Gallagher, G-Wolf, JP, Zokuama, everyone else, Sri Ram Sainal, the United Way says we've almost hit 200 likes. Smash that like button, lads and lasses. Let's see if we can do it. Alex Enrico, you absolute legend. JP, Philbo as a boss, Mr. KOW9, legends of the Falls. Okay, guys, that's going to be it from me. Thank you for watching. I'll keep you up to date later with any more happenings and goings on, anything to do with Manchester United. Anything you want to say at the end, Nicola?
I did say bye earlier, but I'll say bye again, everyone. Thanks for being lovely as always.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, Ayush Bahara, Alex Enrico, Mr. KO9, all of you, Ryan Burberspin9, the United Way. Stay classy. Have a good day. This is the big... I'm out of here, and come on, United. Legends. There we are, guys. Yeah. Also, come back and let me know if my microphone is distorting, because people keep writing that on my phone. I don't know if it's people winding me up, but let me know if my microphone's all right. If you could come back and let me know, that'd be good. Also, this is just a Patreon credits to say thank you to all the people that support this show on Patreon or who are Tier 2 channel members on YouTube. They also appear on this list too. Shout out to you all. Shout out to all the Bacon Brigade community. Everyone else as well, you know, just whoever watches this channel, really appreciate it. The best thing you can do to support this show is by interacting with me on the live chat and liking that video, lads and lasses. Oh yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you very, very soon. Abbas Hassani getting in here too. Have a great day. Gaz G, the Cinnamon. Oh yeah, the Cinnamon show. Check it out. Everyone, thanks for watching. This is the Pig. Catch you later. Yeah, like I say, actually, later, just keep an eye out on the channel. I'm not too sure what time we'll be doing the evening transfer show, or if indeed we need to. It depends what movements and news come out before then, and if we decide to do that highlight game as well. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, though. Have a great day, everyone. Stay classy. This is the Pig.